This conference will now be recorded.
Can you see us, Andrew?
Just says ON. Patricia and I are the only ones that are seeing. We're seeing each other, but we do not see your camera.
Yeah, I can see us in the settings.
Wow. Change it to integrated camera in the back.
Then it's gonna look at me.
Just
do
for
it
a second.
Hear, can't hear anything.
Oh, you can't hear anything, Patricia?
And I can't hear you. Can't hear you.
I can hear Andrew and Andrew can hear me, so I have a feeling
He has
that's
my mic on, but I can't hear. I can see, but I can't hear.
there's Patricia.
So Andrew, can you hear Patricia?
I can hear Patricia. Yep, I can hear you all. No problem.
So what we say, you repeat
The
that.
mic is on.
Speaker on.
Can't hear us. To ask her.
It's not. So it's muted on your end.
We can hear you, Patricia. Fine. Yeah, you just.
Yeah, I don't have her muted.
I don't think she can hear Andrew either.
Yeah, she can't. She can't hear me. No.
Have her.
I can mute her, and then I can.
Just message her and tell her
Right,
to log out.
mute it.
Oh, okay. She did it herself.
She's gonna rejoin, I think.
Okay.
She's trying to rejoin, is that she?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
No worries at all.
Luckily, we have a short agenda, so. Take all this.
Hello?
Hello.
Joe.
Can you hear us?
Hear me?
Yes. Yes.
I cannot hear you.
Oh, that's weird.
I'm glad you can hear me and see me. It's good that there are not two of me now, but I cannot hear anything on that end. Andy, can you hear?
You have her cell phone?
You can hear? I can't hear.
Can she call in? Can you
I'm gonna say we could just call.
call in? And then she
Have her on speakerphone.
Yeah.
Okay. Calling my cell.
can-
434. Oh, she can't hear me.
She can call the number on the call in on the email.
What's? Can you write that in the chat, Megan?
Yep. Oh, actually, let me go back.
You read it. Oh, her.
She's gonna have to mute herself.
Please enter your access code followed by the pound or hash sign. To enable audio controls, please enter your audio PIN followed by the pound or hash sign. If you do not have a PIN, just press pound or hash. This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, can you hear us, Patricia?
Obviously not.
Hey, I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
All right.
Are.
We can
I'm
get started.
exhausted.
All right, me too. I'm gonna go take a nap. All right, good morning, everybody, and thank you for your efforts to make this meeting happen. So we'll go ahead and start out with a roll call.
Jeff Joyner,
Here.
Dave Rowley.
Here.
Jeff Lord is absent. Craig Gelsman is absent. Tom Romeo.
Here.
Patricia Kennedy. Here.
Yes, I'm.
Cheryl Robinson is absent. Andrew Marietta.
Here.
And Josh Edmond.
Here.
All right, we have enough for a quorum. Thank you very much. And I will defer my remarks in the interest of time for today. We'll go right into the approval of the meeting minutes from the August 26th meeting.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you. Now we'll move into the report of the Audit and Finance Committee and Treasurer. We know that our Treasurer is not here today, but you do have the minutes from that meeting. Any questions, comments, changes? If not, can we get approval of the report of the Audit and Finance Committee?
Make that motion.
Seconded.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Excellent, thank you very much. Bills and communications?
There are no bills since we just met last week and approved everything, so they'll probably be at the next meeting.
Okay,
Well, they will be.
great. Thank you very much. Report of the Projects Committee. You should have a copy of the minutes in your packet that was sent out earlier. Any comments, questions, or additions to those minutes? If not, can I get a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Dave. Can I get a second? Thank you, Josh. All in favor of approval of the minutes of the Projects Committee?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. New and unfinished business. Innovation and Acceleration Center. Jody.
So in our last projects committee meeting, we discussed the applications that we're submitting on the Innovation Acceleration Center. One is to ARC, the Appalachian Regional Commission, for $150,000. And the second is under the EDA program, Rebuild New York. So a number of the board members asked for a little bit more detail, so we're doing a quick presentation on what we're calling the vision for Otsego County, an Innovation Acceleration Center for businesses in Central New York, helping advance technology businesses accelerate growth. Next slide.
Sorry, keep going. Oh, they can see it.
We can see it. Yeah.
Yeah, they can see it. The TV can't see it. Sorry.
So strange. You may be able to just do page down.
Well, I started the slideshow, so.
Okay,
Oh. Okay, sorry.
so a lot of people have asked the difference, what is the difference between an innovation center and an acceleration center? An innovation center generally provides startup companies and entrepreneurs shared space, resources such as cubicle space, access to telephones, shared copy machines, access to the internet. They can also provide services and training programs such as how to write a business plan and general concepts of marketing, available funding sources, and other topics, including legal aspects of the corporation, insurance requirements, and how to write a perform, including basics and profit and loss and balance sheets. So it's basically what we do up here right now. Next slide. Also, innovation centers are usually staffed by such organizations as a SUNY system or other colleges, staff and students, the Small Business Development Center, government agencies such as workforce investment boards and local economic development agencies. They do not contain any real manufacturing companies limiting their expertise, experience, or knowledge. So if you go to the Kaufman Center in Binghamton, they have, it's staffed by SUNY Binghamton. It has workforce investment people. It has the Small Business Development Center, but there aren't any real businesses there to mentor other businesses. Next slide.
Again, they can see it, but you guys can't.
What we're looking to do here is an acceleration center.
I'm sorry.
What we're looking to do here is an acceleration center or an innovation center.
Well, actually, we're looking to do both.
Oh, okay.
I noticed that the new president of SUNY Young made comments at the county council about connecting the cows to the community. more. This might be an opportunity.
That will be a welcome change.
Downtown,
Yeah.
Yeah,
long overdue.
I did receive a call from Al Rubin yesterday, and he says, well, I've been working on this concept called an innovation center. I'm in contact with SUNY Copelskill or SUNY Oleana and Hartwick and Michelle Caton, and they've all agreed to work with us on it. And I've been talking to Assemblyman Miller on it. And I'm like, knock yourself out. Next.
Let's work together.
For some reason, like it's doing it for them. They can see me switch the slide, but it's not on the computer. And
Well, the important people are here.
doing it. No. So I can't make you guys see it, unfortunately.
Can you go from memory?
I can't.
The difference between an innovation.
Yeah.
So you turn your screen.
You're gonna see everybody. Okay, well, I can't turn it that much.
Oh, you have it there?
Yeah, they can see it, but for some reason it's not switching on the screen.
Oh, well, I'll sit over there and read it.
Okay.
Technology is just such a wonderful thing.
When I'm not sharing the screen, it works perfectly, I guess.
Get your coffee. So when we talk about an acceleration center, in contrast to the innovation center, actually brings in small to medium companies that are at a TRL stage 4 or higher, up to its TR stage 9. And I'll explain what that is in a second. This requires that a normal innovation center provides testing of products. Basically what they can do is they'll bring in existing manufacturing companies and work with these startups on testing their products, because a lot of companies have a prototype, but they don't have the testing equipment to ensure that it's
Ready for prime time.
right. They can also provide marketing, detailed marketing experience. What Chad has really been pushing is that they analyze what the product costs are to make the thing, what they're going to probably sell it at, and then do an analysis of whether there's a market to actually buy those products at that price. Because a lot of times people come out with products, but it doesn't sell because the price is ridiculous. And so it falls out.
So it sounds like one of the major first differences is that you're including on-site existing business expertise.
Right. And the analysis that we did, working with both IAXIS and Custom, is that they have individuals, it won't be just Patrick or Michael or Chad that'll be working. They have a whole team of people that they say,
Sure.
you're the expert on this field, why don't you go work with this company? So those are really the big differences. The other thing that they can provide that regular innovation centers can't provide is, since that they're existing manufacturing companies, they can actually manufacture the products for these startups, so that they don't have to go out and find somebody to manufacture them, or start with a line of products. That they would actually work with either Custom or IAXIS to actually build their stuff, to actually manufacture it, and they would receive a small profit in exchange, as anybody else would, to manufacture these, but they'd be on-site manufacturing. Next slide. So a TRL stage development, basically, that stands for technology readiness levels, and this was developed by the NASA program and the U.S. Air Force. And basically, it rates companies as a startup of this TL3 as basic introduction, an idea. I have an idea, all the way up to a TR9, which is I'm actually in production and marketing. And the middle range is where everybody's looking at, basically a TR3 to 5, to bring in those companies that have more than just the basic concepts, but aren't ready to go to production yet. And that's the companies that we're targeting for. Next slide. Why are we trying to lure high-tech businesses I think COVID-19 really taught us a lesson in our county that we're too dependent on tourism. Roughly 25% of our business, of our actual businesses in our county are related to tourism, either directly tourism, hotels, restaurants. And when COVID-19 hit, it really hurt our economy. One of the things.
Well, if we can be brutally frank, our local economy's never been great. Tourism kept us on off life support, you know, so it isn't like we're so robust, make so much money in tourism, we don't care. I mean, maybe it's raising awareness that we have to care, and this helps us move down the road.
More diversity.
We don't have to live in this level of poverty.
Now, one of the things that the state controller, there was a state controller report that came out a couple of years ago that says that the only region in upstate New York and in all of New York that was growing manufacturing jobs was the Southern Tier East. And they primarily said it was computers and electronics. And that's the area that we're going to focus on, is really the electronics area. Next slide. So I just explained, so you can skip that one. Next slide. Okay, then according to Robert Atkinson, who's the former Brookhaven president, and he's now president of Information Technologies and Innovation Foundation, the future of America's economy lies in the high-tech innovation sector. And what he says is that basically that area of high-tech development is confined to mainly urban areas, that in more rural areas, there is no high-tech acceleration going on. And that needs to be a focus for the future. Next slide.
Thank you, Craig.
Okay, so back to Josh's question. Right now, we sort of have this starting of what we're calling the Innovation Center, which is Occrc now, which helps with financing, identify various financing. We do have Michelle in the office that does with the Small Business Development Center that helps write business plans, works with some pro formas, profit and loss statement. And then the Center for Agricultural Development and Entrepreneurialism, which actually does a good job on the marketing of it. What we're proposing to add to that is, for the Acceleration Center, is Occrc now, Custom Electronics, Occrc, and Hartwood College. We've been working with one of the professors, a co-chair of economics up there. Next slide. So merging those two different groups will be what we're calling the Innovation Acceleration Center. I can't read the other part of that slide. So keep going. I will do this presentation at a better date time, but basically, skip this slide too. As part of the EDA application that Southern Tier 8 is submitting, we had an eight county meeting yesterday with a number of other organizations in Southern Tier 8. They rated our project to build a Innovation Acceleration Center, a physical building. That's a #1 rated project for the 8 counties. It's being proposed to be built in the Oleana Rail Yards. The cost is $9.4 million. The actual building is probably about $3 million, but we added in extension of water, sewer, gas, upgrading the electric for another $2.2 million, and paving new roadways. And they, as part of the EDA requirements, the reason our project was rated so high was we already have roughly, I said we would probably commit probably close to $500,000 to building this. There's a Empire State Development has already given us $500,000, and we're asking the balance, roughly $8 million from EDA. So it's the only project that has any money in the 8 counties as they consider ready to go. What we're asking for as a phase 1 with the EDA grant is full designs for the buildings and the roadways. And then the phase 2 would accompany it as the actual construction monies for the $9.2 million. The other thing that this project has that none of the other counties has is that it has private businesses associated with it. There is a proposal in Broome County to build an accelerator. We're in the feasibility. They looked at doing a feasibility study for this. But they don't have any businesses committed to it yet, where we have both access and custom electronics. So that rates our project much higher. The third thing is we do have a college associated with it, and they want an educational component with it. So ours meets a number of the criteria. The fourth thing is that they also want to fund new industrial parks. So this goes along with the building of that, provides the infrastructure for our industrial park to further grow that. You go down to probably one of the last slides. What we're looking at is, and this was based on Custom Electronics and IOX's suggestion, that they're looking to create up to 300 manufacturing jobs in the next 5 years. I know that's ambitious, but that's what they believe they can do with this. We're looking at small to medium companies, not large companies. Now, one of the other things is that there is some ancillary benefits to companies joining an acceleration center. And that's that not only can they possibly get contracts to do the manufacturing component, but they can actually do, there's a possibility that a company wants to sell its product directly to another company. I want to get out of it. I just want to make some money, take over my responsibilities. So in the past 2 years, for example, Custom Electronics has acquired 6 different companies, and they're bringing that technology in-house. And that's what that does, is it makes Custom Electronics diversified and able to compete in a more global market. And that's similarly what IOXIS is working on right now, is that they're working with 3 companies on looking to buy their technology and bring it in-house. So it's a matter of not just bringing in new companies, but helping companies that want to join that acceleration center and provide those services and ability firsthand to look at, maybe I want to buy this company and invest in it. So in general, I'll stop there. But
it's cost-effective research and development by somebody else's idea. Right. Which way the concept.
One of the things, and I wish Jeff Ward was here, because he was asking me about why IOXIS, why Custom Electronics doesn't want to build a new building, as opposed to maybe having Mike Contreras build that building and leasing it to Custom Electronics. And one of the things I've learned from both IOXIS and Custom Electronics is that they try to keep their overhead extremely low. And that's the only way they can compete globally. And once their costs started going up,
but we know that there are economic disadvantages of manufacturing in the state of New York. I mean, obviously, cost to deliver is a challenge, so totally understandable.
So with that, that's kind of in general where I see our priority project being, is look really at building this. Now, one of the things that came out of the EDA people in Washington, not the Philadelphia office, that's been dealing with Southern Tier 8, is that they're only going to pick 30 to 40 regional areas to invest their money in for this round of projects. So while we have a long shot, I think we're still in the game. What EDA told us was that even if they're not funded, they may fund the top projects in each of the regions. So I think we have a decent shot at getting funding for our proposal. And what's amazing to me is out of the 8 counties that there is, Broome County or Cuyahoga County isn't more ahead of us on this.
What's the timeline?
Applications for the round 1 are due October 16th. They're going to be awarded in April of this year, of next year. That will bring in experts to work with you on developing the proposal better. So for example, one thing we requested is for roughly $500,000 or $300,000 for design of the building, to actually do detailed designs. Based on the 60 that are selected, they're going to narrow it down to 30 groups that will receive up to $50 million to implement the projects. So we would basically be requesting roughly 10% of the allocation. That would be awarded back in July of next year. So it's really fast track. EDA really wants to get this money out. So in theory, we could be in construction by next fall.
Second question, how's the search going for space? Was it customers looking for space? Tom had suggested the bus building down there.
You know, I met with them on Friday, last Friday, and I did not ask that question.
I spoke to Hiltz again, we communicated over the weekend. He's still concerned. I said, at this point, you're in the list, but not on top of it.
I will email him right after this.
He'll be marked. I mean, he's ready to market the thing. Some real estate company, Binghamton,
All right.
So
Any?
that kind of give you an idea of what we're kind of working.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be better.
And if I'm hearing all the numbers correctly, through this project, we're not really risking any capital of ours. It's all fund from somewhere else and making sure we process it correctly, document it correctly, but we're just handling it.
Well, one of the other things, both Ioxis, Chad and Ioxis and Mike Panteris at Custom Electronics says, we will help raise the money. I mean, you've got a good start, but we will help raise the balance for it. And I said, well, in the worst case scenario, right now, I've recommended putting up a 15,000 square foot building at $200 a square foot. It's roughly $3 million. So we could knock that down to 10,000 square feet and save, money on that. I mean, there's ways of we don't have to put in 6 parking lots. We could scale that back. Basically just putting the road through the industrial park is important right now, extending water and sewer. And I think the electric upgrade is important because right now,
yes, no question.
And those estimates we got from NICEAG, so they're fairly decent estimates that they gave us. So that's kind of where we are on this.
And through the project, the IDA owns it?
Yes. Yeah, ultimately, I haven't talked to everybody about this, but that we move our offices in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as opposed to spending $46,000 a year here.
Right. That makes sense.
And what both Ioxis and Custom says is that don't overbuild it. Don't put a lot of fancy equipment into it because you won't know what type of equipment you need until you have to start a company that's in there.
You need to be flexible.
So just build a base.
Mm-hmm.
So you build basically you build a warehouse for it, so that can then be
adjusted
into specifics.
Mm-hmm.
Walls put in.
Right.
Do you think on the project, but having to do sewer water makes it more beneficial to get this money?
I would think so.
So really, it's the municipality responsibility as it was prior to. I don't know what continued talks you have with the city of Oneonta, who can easily get money for those extensions. They have to do it all continuously.
That makes a lot of sense. That does.
Mm-hmm.
And what I was explaining to the board before you got here was that I got a call yesterday afternoon from Al Rubin. And Al Rubin said, I came up with this concept. I want to build an innovation center. And he's going to contact Congressman or Assemblyman Miller in the north part of the country. He's already talked to Michelle Caton, State University in Hartwick about being partners in this. And I'm like, one of the things that Custom
do it, and we move on to something else.
One of the things Custom sort of indicated, Mike Pantelis, is that he doesn't want to get a big group together because that doesn't move projects.
Correct.
No.
Small and nimble.
Yep.
Just piggybacking on what Rick said, let's say we're lucky enough to get approval. That's when you go to the city and basically you can leverage what you have and reduce what you have to pay out by having the city step up and extend water and sewer, which is something they're supposed to be doing anyway.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that 100%.
And you can say that we have something real going here. We're not asking you to extend water and sewer to nothing. To a vacant lot, we're asking you to extend it because we have a facility that we're going to be putting up. So.
Right.
Yeah, right now, the one lot that's roughly 3 acres, that's in between a couple of buildings that are already there that we own, that lot, that would where I proposed putting the acceleration center, it already has water and sewer to the site. So we really don't need it for that. What Jen had agreed from Southern Tier 8 was include the entire industrial park, so you may be able to get
all the way through. Yeah,
So
that would make sense.
I say that's it.
And
End up in
that
civilization.
Right, exactly.
since we're the top project, and there really isn't anybody else out looking for construction funds right now, it makes sense that we
Include it all. Yeah, I agree.
So that's all I have.
All right, thank you. Any additional questions or comments? All right, we will now move into the public comment period. Don't see anyone from the public. All right. Is there a need for an executive session? All right, if not, motion to adjourn.
So move.
Motion to adjourn. Meeting is over. All right, let's move right into the OCCRC board meeting. Roll call, please.
Jeff Joyner,
Here.
David Rowley,
Here.
Jeff Lord is absent, Craig Gelsman, Tom Armeo,
Here.
Patricia Kennedy,
Here.
Gerald Robinson is absent, Andrew Marietta.
Here.
Here.
All right, thank you. We have a quorum. I will defer my chairman's remarks. Approval of the meeting minutes from August 26, 2021. Can I get a motion?
So move.
Thank you. Tom, second.
Second.
Thank you, Josh. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Any new or unfinished business, Jody?
No, not for
Any need for executive session? Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All right, meeting adjourned. Thank you very much.
Okay, we'll work on the technology a little bit better.
Why?